Vietnam's economy is growing about 10% annually. The killing and the distribution of rhino horn are directly linked to that growth. If you look at the compound effect, the implication is going to be vital and detrimental to the survival of rhino in the world and specifically in South Africa.
So we're here in Vietnam, in Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon, working at the international schools. It makes sense that when you're looking at demand reduction side of things, you want to do work here as the biggest user country. So we're lucky through introductions through our partners to Tu Minh and Tan Bui as two of the biggest stars in singing stars in Vietnam.
This is the beginning for us of the Rhino campaign, and unfortunately we're here and our South African friends are here not because to enjoy the culture or to find out more about the Vietnamese people, but we're here because we have to try to stop the thinking that rhino horn is a cure for cancer, that it is something of a magical piece of medicine. And unfortunately, we can't get through to those people who are using the rhino horn. And so I think one way that we can is through education.
Good morning to everybody. Thank you very much for having myself and Miss Tillman here to share with you the story about rhinos. Why we are here is because 80% of the world's rhino horn comes to our country. It comes to Vietnam. So myself and Miss Tillman, we had the amazing opportunity to go into South Africa, into the wild, and touch a rhino. Imagine that they're all gone.
Yeah, they're all gone. And just because the story that rhino horn can be tough body and cure
cancer.
Yeah, please put your hands together.
So we need guys like yourself to share this message so that our friends from South Africa, we can help protect their heritage.
Does everybody understand what it means when an animal's extinct? Okay? Does anybody know some animals that are extinct? A good one, a panther, wow. The problem is with extinction, as was Minh said, is once they're gone, they're gone. But we've still got a chance with rhino.
You know, I've actually in the last 5 years, I've stood next to 50 dead rhino. So my appeal to all of you is to help us where you can, speak up when you can, intervene where you can in a small way, if it's safe for you to do that. And then obviously we'll take the plug forward.
That's a rhino in its natural environment. It's a dead rhino. Because the important thing you've got to realize is when they take the horn off, they kill the rhino. Yeah. We're also here today to launch a competition. If you're older than 15, you can write an essay of about 500 words telling us what you are going to do in Vietnam to help save the rhino. And if you're a winner, then we will take you to South Africa and we're going to put you on a trail in the wilderness where you'll walk and you'll see Rhino. That picture there was taken when Tonbe and Tumin were out with us. They were so inspired, I think they wrote a song.
Would you like to hear a song, everybody?
We can't believe the reception we've had here. We didn't know what to expect coming to Vietnam and to come tell the story of the rhino and the plight of the rhino. But you can't believe how the kids actually react.
This message that I'm going to give to everybody is that protect the rhinos and don't use any rhinos products at all. Because like we use that, we kill rhinos, rhinos dead, then who's the one who will hold that responsibility? They just don't care about their future and anything at all. They just care about making money now, but actually in the end, it's just the same thing because money doesn't last, life lasts.
Education is always going to have a role in conservation. I think, again, those of us that are in the game and we're doing this every day, we're familiar with the issues and familiar with some solutions. But for your average person out there, particularly in an area or country like Vietnam, they're not. It's just not. It's not part of their daily life. And the one school, I just decided to get the children to help me draw a rhino so they could understand the use of the horn and the fact that the horn is best used on the face of the rhino itself.
I will be joining this competition because I'm a Vietnamese person and my whole family is Vietnamese. I think that I can make a difference, and because this is a very important issue, especially in today's society.
Since I'm half South African, half Vietnamese, both of them are my home, so since they're both involved in this, it would be a great contribution to both societies.
I'll be joining this competition because I'm really interested in the cause, and I've never been to Africa, and I love animals, and I never even knew that Vietnamese rhino was extinct, and I'm Vietnamese, and that's kind of shameful.
I was amazed by the intelligence, the insight, the passion, and the commitment that the children showed of all ages.
Personally, for me, going through all the schools and meeting hundreds and thousands of kids, the feeling of hope is also given to me. That the kids, the new generation, they care, that they want to stand for something and they want to make a difference. Miss Hong is what we call a national icon. She's been a famous singer and an icon for the past 30 years. And for someone like Miss Hong, who's such an influential person, to get involved with this campaign, I think it's an incredible thing.
If we cannot stop the demand, it would be impossible to stop the poaching. We Vietnamese have a saying. We have the saying, mắt không thấy, tim không đau. In Vietnamese, it means if you don't see it, your heart doesn't really hurt. It's so true because I never knew. I only knew numbers. So numbers are just numbers. But once I was in South Africa, in Kruger, saw the scene, saw the dead rhinos with the horns cut off, then my heart aches. And so what we have to do is we have to show people so that once they see it, their heart starts to feel. But after all, I think the most effective way to approach people is still through the youth. The children will go home and tell their parents that it's wrong, and the parents will have to listen to their children.
It's almost unbelievable that some of the rhino that I've seen and in South Africa alive, and then having stood at that same rhino being killed, and now realizing that, 10,000 miles away, where we sit here in Vietnam today, that rhino horn can be somewhere close by to where I'm sitting.
From South Africa, it's very hard to try and understand the traditional healing side of things in Vietnam. The use of traditional medicines, whether it's plant-based or animal-based, has been there, and there must be, or there is a huge following for that. But I think also there is an understanding, certainly from one of the people we spoke to, that rhino horn and the emergence of that market is generated by greed and by money.
Thì trong cái ngành thuốc này ở mình là 5 đời, một đời mình tính là 60 năm. Bây giờ anh hỏi tiếp nữa là về cái mặt sai thì là không phải là do cái ngành thuốc sai mà do nhân gian thuốc sai, do nhân loại thuốc sai. Thì bây giờ mình lấy ra từ cái ngành thuốc, mình nói về cái xương cọp và cái sừng tê giác. Thì cái xương cọp về đau nhức, khi mà ông thầy mà trị hoài không hết thì ông dùng khách để mà xài cái xương cọp để cho nó bớt đi cái phần đau nhức. Rồi khi mà con cọp mà bị đau nhức thì nó dùng cái gì? Sừng tê giác đó là những người đó là họ tiếp xúc với độc ngày xưa, những người họ tiếp xúc những cái độc, không khí độc hoặc giả những cái đồ độc thì họ dùng cái sừng tê giác mài ra để uống giải độc lần lần. Nhưng cái người đã phát bệnh rồi dùng sừng tê giác không thông thường. Trong các loại độc không cần phải dùng sừng tê giác mà dùng những cây lá không có thể là giải độc. Do cái người nhân gian cuộc sống của họ thì họ tạo ra những cái sự quý hiếm đó, thật sự ra sừng tê giác cũng không là cái gì.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. Really appreciate.
When I bring guests over from overseas into Vietnam, I want to show them the charm that this country is. This beautiful culture that we have, the food, the people. I want to protect that. And to be honest with you, I don't want to go down in history as the nation that destroyed the rhinos.
Changing the people's awareness is not easy. Therefore, this is necessary that the whole society together we fight against the poaching rhinos, and it should be done now.
We're here doing a school competition, but that's only the start, I think, of what we hope to do until the demand is reduced to the stage where it's not the issue that it is now.
If we don't stop the end markets now, we could sit with rhino in small little spaces being intensively guarded just to save the species from extinction.